Welcome back to the channel. It's time to fact check the fact checkers. Yes, the fact checkers of the BBC. You must have heard about BBC Verify. We've talked about them on this channel before. It's a recent organization inside the BBC that is supposed to be verifying facts. And it's hosted by this human, Mariana Spring. And we've already exposed some of the issues with the BBC Verify. But in this video, I'm going to be talking about their biggest problem, which is their own bias. Because they simply only be going after, they're punching down. They are holding to account some people, but ordinary people, people on social media, people who have their own opinions, and ordinary people who are going against the consensus. They are called conspiracy theorists. Now, for example, Mariana has this program as well called Conspiracy Land, and what she does is, and BBC Verify, they go around and try to debunk certain claims on social media. Now, if the job of the BBC is supposed to be telling the truth and investigation and holding the power to account, then why not hold the power to account? We used to have a media in this country, including the BBC. The BBC was the leading figure in that decades ago. They used to hold the government to account. Politicians, the establishment, the state, civil servants, all the organizations, when there was any corruption, when there were any lies being spread around, when there was any sort of mismanagement, but not anymore. They do not hold the establishment to account because they are now the establishment themselves. For example, let's go through some of the stories that they are verifying, right? So they fact check the claims about asylum seekers, or obviously the illegal migrants who are coming from France, illegally entering the country, and obviously the big majority of them have been caught to be economic migrants, and that's one thing. So they focus on that to make sure that you, little people, are not going on social media and spreading bad tweets about asylum seekers. They've also done stories about this. False claims that heat wave is bogus spread online. Now, we've already done a video on the BBC reporting on the weather and heat waves with facts. We showed them the stats and they seem to be completely ignoring it. But they want to make sure that they debunk my Tousi's debunking video. Okay, fair enough. Well done. They've also done this before about the truth behind the new climate deniers. Ooh, yes, if you question COP26, if you question net zero policies and the approach, then you're a denier. You're the worst person on this planet. That's what they care about. So these sort of stories are what they focus on. Another one, Brexit. Of course they're going to focus on Brexit. How has pet travel to the EU countries been affected by Brexit? Wow, priorities, BBC, priorities, absolute bias. Now, this video that I'm making is about exposing their main bias and the problem, fundamental problem with BBC Verify, right? This is about the fact that they're not holding the government to account and the establishment, including their own BBC, when they were spreading nonsense during the lockdown. Why is the BBC Verify not fact-checking what happened during the lockdown? The lies that we got from the establishment about lockdown policies, staying at home, clapping for the NHS at 8 p.m. every Thursday, and apparently saving lives. Even though their own medical experts and government officials have now come out to basically say we regret some of those decisions if we went too far, the BBC don't care about that. Okay? Now, what about face coverings, face nappies that they kept pushing and pushing and pushing, saying this is scientific? Then it was exposed. Ironically, the face nappies were exposed before they became a mandate. Their own medical experts, the World Health Organization, the rest of the United Nations were coming out and say, well, they don't really do anything. But then when you have all the PPE companies making a lot of contracts with governments, they said, okay, this is now mandatory because you're going to save lives. And since then, where is BBC Verify to fact check those lies and claims that even the establishment now are now refusing to follow? What about when they kept pushing the jabs onto children and healthy people, saying, no, you have to, you absolutely have to. And now they've come out, the actual same establishment saying, and the NHS, oh, we need a rollback because I think it's probably best not to do it with children and young healthy people. Unless you are in the elderly category and you have certain conditions, you don't have to have it. Where is the BBC to fact check those things? Where is the BBC to hold them to account? Ask certain questions. Find out why they changed their mind, why they pushed that narrative in the first place. BBC Verify is not there to verify and actually do fact checking when it comes to the power. It's there to punch down, to come for you guys, all of us. It's not there to hold the power to account. They don't punch up. This is the problem with the biased BBC. And I'm here to continue to fact check the fact checkers. Thank you so much for watching. I'm Mahyar Tousi, and we are the media.